We definitely accomplished my #1 design rule, which is you're not having fun unless you're making a mess. I will purposefully throw down things I think people won't like just to suss out their sense of taste, and they'll sort of apologetically be, no, I don't like that, I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, thank you for telling me, because now I know something about you. Like, if they say yes immediately, I didn't necessarily learn as much as when somebody says no to a few choices. Then I can really hone in on what they like.
But not quite set on this one. What do you think we should do with this one?
You know, Kevin would never ask me that because he knew exactly what he wanted. But ever since he started exploring with his new bright color palette, I've been curious to see what else we can do. Let me come around and we'll pick something out.
Hey.
So I've wanted to play around with what could be done with his new series of paintings.
What's the benefit to having a custom frame built for this piece versus going to Amazon or IKEA or even Goodwill?
I love me a Goodwill frame. The vintage frames, thrifted, Portland's favorite hobby, are a joy to work with. They can be a little bit more work to work with, but it's often well worth it. A frame from Amazon or IKEA, if you're ordering a frame online, it may seem like a good deal and the picture may look nice, but the frame could fall apart or just not be what you expected it was when you see it. Framing is such a tactile, hands-on thing. I really recommend people come into a frame shop and get their hands on the materials and really make sure what they get is something they're going to be in love with for years.
What's the difference between a UV protective glazing versus something that's not?
I think UV is pretty much always a wise investment, and it is not that much more expensive. If it's a piece of glass, we're talking 10, 20 bucks more to know the piece won't fade over time. I usually try to mention UV glass when people come in. If I see that it's a family heirloom, an original piece of art, anything with super bright colors in it. My connection with Froelick Gallery really started with framing pictures for Kevin over the years. Used to looking at things upside down, so I'll give you that benefit. Straying away from a white mat is one way we could mix it up. Picking a different frame would be another way we could mix it up.
I really like this tiny gasp of yellow here and here.
Yeah.
And I think it could be kind of fun to have something that plays with that or accentuates that even.
Yeah, I agree. So I'll sort of fan these out like a deck of cards. It's very fun to get to play around with some different possibilities because Kevin knew exactly what he wanted before he even came into the shop. So getting to frame his pictures for other people is really rewarding because it gives us an opportunity to cast them in a different light or look at them a little differently. Subsequently, Andrew Alba and I worked together for many years before he was represented by Charles, and there are still many artifacts from Andrew's time around the shop here. Might be able to pick out a ready-made frame, or that may give us a good idea of what would look nice around it. You could try. Right over there's a bunch of 11 by 14 frames.
This is my first impulse.
Okay, yeah, you gotta see it to know.
I think this one's a little busy.
I feel like it's a little overstated. The frame overpowers the art, and that's always the opposite of what I want to go for.
Let's try this one.
Okay. I feel like that gets closer to a frame that doesn't steal the attention away from the art. One thing I try to accomplish when framing a horizontal landscape or street scene like this with a road running across it is letting the viewer imagine that the scene extends beyond where the borders of the painting end. I think if we pick a thinner frame, we might more easily be able to accomplish that. I am here to help. I just gave Rebecca Boraz a free bag of bubble wrap a couple days ago. So, and I see one of Kevin's classic frames right there. It'd be interesting to see how that looks over this.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that way more. You're right.
I do too. It's hard to argue with the master. That's classic early 2000s Kevin Kadar right there with that frame around it. So yeah, it's very rewarding for me to build relationships with artists over time, get to know them, and help shepherd the work from its final form to the gallery wall. These two right here, and I think that either the reddish wood or the darker wood, which if I were to stick with his classic choices, I'd see this one a little more colorful around the newer work. Yeah, we spent some time up at the design counter. We've got all these ready-made frames that people can pop by and grab for like last-minute framing emergencies if you found out you had an art show the next day. Okay, so this is the middle of the house. This is where we assemble the projects. Anything from a shadow box to stretching a canvas to most of the work we do where, you know, art and glass and mat get put together into a preservation package to go in a frame. That all happens here. Back here is the frame forest where we've got a couple hundred different moldings that we buy by the box. It helps make framing affordable for as many people as possible. And we've got our double miter saw for cutting the frames. We've got our V-nailer. Quite a lot back here. Anyone you want to see in particular?
Is there a Kevin Kadar frame tree back in the forest?
There is, yeah, in the frame forest. Kevin's frame trees are right here. We've got his dark walnut and his reddish cherry frame that basically went around about every painting he framed for the last 20 years or so.
Wow.
Yeah. Color you're after. Here we go. There we go. That's the palette.
I'm really drawn to this one immediately.
Okay. So you just gotta see it to know. So I might dial it back to something more like that. Stealing away from his piece. What do you think? Well, I mean, let's keep playing around before we decide on the final choice. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna pick down a different one this time too.
Okay, yeah. Whoa.
Wow, that actually really evokes some of the color palette in there, and it pulls out like that little bit of like pink in the sky.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah.
What did you find?
I found this mint one. As long as the frames are the same shape, like we'd have to use this one instead.
Okay. We
actually could make a frame that's like mint on two sides and pink on the other two sides, and we'd end up with something pretty far out.
Wow. Bet you can't get that on Amazon.
I didn't say it. There's at least a couple ways of looking at how the frame and art interact with each other. There's, you know, the art and the frame are having a conversation together. Kevin's art he's such a strong storyteller that my objective with picking out a frame for him is it's almost like I'm telling the frame, get out of the way and let the picture tell the story itself.
Thanks for checking out these artist stories. I'm Charles Froelick, and my gallery produces these because I believe our artists matter. If you like it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to stay up to date with all of our stories, and let us know what you think in the comments section.